everyone. I thought today we could do something. I thought I could do something pretty special. Today, you finally got the ability to be a moderator. Now, you wonder what I could possibly do with this power. It's gonna be really cool, but it also depends on what server you're on. Unless you're on like a fun server like I am, it does not matter. Of course. Let's talk about the of list of commands you can possibly do as a moderator. Of course, that all depends on what server you have. Now let's start off with something. One of my favorites, of course, has to be the change color command. Remember, you're wondering, what does that mean? It means you see all these basic lights here. That does not fit my style in any way whatsoever. So that's why change the color a little bit to something of style, like a purple color. Now you might be wondering, purple? There's limited to purple? Nah, it's limited to any RGB color you can think of, and it's a lot. I will admit it, it's a lot. Now moving on from that, we also have the basic commands we can do as a moderator. Of course, everyone knows you can do the moderation, where you can kick or ban someone, or you can mute anyone, including the owner. But you did not hear that from me. Of course, you also have this. People, and it says services administration on it, but as a moderator, that does not matter. You can still do two cool things. Yeah, two cool things. You can give bypass to anyone, including yourself, and you can give intercom to anyone, including yourself as well. But mainly give to SCPs because you're really not gonna like it when a live person talks. I'm gonna mean it. Next up, we have broadcasting. Of course, you know how this works. Select what time you want, select what color, select if you want it bold, italic, underline, strike through, and then we'll type in something like blue. Boom. Now it's sent. Of course, you probably can't see it because I don't know why, maybe because of the color, but it is sent. The next up we have is staff chat. Of course, everyone has access to it, even trainees. Of course, it's staff chat for a reason. And then we have round events. The server I'm on currently, as a moderator, you can start, stop, lock, and blow up a fellow. You can blow up the facility. You can also toggle dead man switch and force it. You can also do all the round lobby logs.
Best mod is back.
Wow, man, I'm just trying to do a YouTube video, man. You're interrupting, pal. You interrupted.
Oh shit.
You interrupted, man.
Oh shit. My bad.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Big admin. A big admin right there, man. Now we go on to role management. You can only change yourself to a role. Now, if you and you can't grant people loadouts, but what you could do is this. You want to say you want to NCF to happen loadout? Do that. Boom, you have your loadout. And then you can, if you want to go back to Class D, you can click reset. Don't click on reset loadout, and then go back to that. Boom, you have a Class D. Your Class D found a captain's loadout. You can practically do this for every single role. And based on this server, if I remember correctly, you can put people in spectator and Overwatch, which is cool, I guess. And then you can request data, but that's probably something for admin, I don't remember. And then we also have map control. Well, I think this goes for every server. You can open, close, lock, unlock, destroy, and repair. I'm not gonna destroy these doors because I'm gonna save you from the ear. And then we have the sub list of commands. Ooh, how are we supposed to do this? I hear a ghost light. So some commands won't work necessarily because you don't have like the admin or player management or Cassie management or whatever. But what some roles you can do is toy spawn. Is what you can do is like a toy thing. If I remember correctly what that command was. I sure hope if I remember it. We have
Mobile Task Force Unit
that.
11
Now see, we got target right here. Boom, right there. If you want to remove this or reset it, just click on E. Click E right there. If you want to remove it, click E right there. And then we also have different things, like we also have a target spore, which is like we also got like target sport where it's like a bullseye, like an arrow. It works based similar, like the target. You can reset it, remove it, blah blah blah. And then we also have another one called primitive object, which spawns a ball on your head, and I can't, since I don't have whatever whatchamacalls it, I have to sadly get rid of gotta get rid of it. So I would not spawn that in. And then we also have light source, which say oh, it's too dark in here. You can just do a little that, spawn to a light source. Boom, instantaneously get a light source, a bright one. It is so, and just no, it does not follow the color that's in here. Of course, I never tried this, but I wonder if, nah, it's not gonna work, But we also have a bunch of other ones, like you can do cast, you can do Cassie. You can do Cassie words, where you can just get a list of Cassie words. And something I completely forgot about is dummies. You can actually do some cool stuff. You can actually pick what name they have. You can spawn them, follow you, destroy, or destroy all. Of course, you can't bring them to you because, well, you don't have the whatever thing. Another thing I forgot to say is about map control is you have elevator management, for me at least. You can send down elevators everywhere. And then you also have map modifiers. Might be wondering, what are map modifiers? Overcharge. You know how when 079 dies and says overcharge happening or something, in that dark period goes on. Yeah, you can basically select how much time it goes on and then which containment zone. And lockdown, I'm pretty sure you know what that is. It locks every door in that area. And then clean up, yeah, you can clean up corpses, items, gun decals, and blood decals. Of course, put something in there for items, because it will just clear up all items. But the corpses, blood decals, and gun decals, they don't matter. You can just don't put a number in there, you'll be fine. Hopefully, this is actually somewhat helpful to you. If not, I'm sorry. Well, I could, but hopefully, with this, maybe you can be quote unquote good. and hopefully you can bring greatness and virtue to different servers, and definitely don't troll on them. Anyway, it's been a nice time, and that is what you can do with a moderator. Of course, there's definitely different other things you can use, different other commands you can do as a moderator, but the commands are really the commands you can do as a moderator basically like casty words. You can only use them if you're an admin because, well, because on this server Cassie won't work as a moderator. So yeah, I mean there's probably some other commands I missed, probably in the spawn toy section, but I'm sure you can figure that out for yourself. Alright guys, bye.